Welcome back to another episode of Micro Plays, a video series that documents smaller plays that can sometimes fall under the radar or happen off-screen, but still deserve some attention. Today, we're going to be breaking down some plays that occurred during the Overwatch League 2022 season, showcasing new and old talent alike. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. For our first microplay, we're going to be looking at a newcomer into the Overwatch League scene, Alphayi. We join the Spark as they're trying to push the payload through to the second point on Watchpoint Gibraltar. The Dragons have secured a hybrid position, dominating both high ground and having a presence on low ground with a Widowmaker and a Brigitte bodyguard. Before the fight begins, Goes Ape heads in and tries desperately to secure a pick onto Lip, who finishes him off. Not a great start to their push, so the Spark tentatively keeps pushing while poking. Having to contest the high ground in some capacity, Alphayi heads up there to hopefully clear out the top of the ship, but realizes he's taking fire from the bottom right, from Lip on Widow. Miraculously, while taking heat from Fate's Winston, Alphayi baits Lip into shooting, and manages to deflect his shot directly back into Lip's head with surgical precision, eliminating him. This incredible pick allows the Spark to capitalize and begin picking off members of the Dragons, without the fear of a long-range one-shot. Spark are eventually able to secure the second point and head into the third. Funny enough, this was the second time that Alphayi pulled a play like this on this very map. Rewinding to the Dragons' push onto the third point, Lip is looking to open this push-up with an easy pick onto either Goes Ape or Alphayi. As Lip grapples onto the high ground, he spots an angle on Genji but is answered with a deflection onto his head once again. Genji is overall a very pointy character to be shooting at, but Alphayi takes the character to the next level with these deflects, and it's worth keeping an eye on him as the season progresses.
Jigon will get across the ball. Lip moving over towards the Widowmaker now, a great Widowmaker point. We'll be able to outrange Shy significantly. Speaking of Shy, the Bob should be coming through in this particular fight. They're loaded with ultimates for this defense.
Oh.
And that's a deflect.
Yep, that's a very nice deflect right into the head. Lip goes down. Alphayi says thank you very much for that, and that's a lot of space now opened up, a lot of pressure alleviated. A bit of an overstep there for Goes Ape, but he's opened up enough space to actually be able to move this cart forward into the hangar proper.
Only momentarily though, because he dies, Fate gets to walk up, and when that happens, Hanzo back out.
Oh.
Shanghai walk up, the second deflect kill now from Alphayi onto Lip, so Alphayi trying to style as much as he can. Fate's turn now to Primal.
Making microplays allows us a chance to focus on more comedic plays that can be easily missed during the fast-paced gameplay of the live broadcast. So here's some that we noticed that we thought were worth sharing. To begin, the Gladiators are fighting to retain control of the point on Oasis, and Shu is on the high ground with a nano ready to go. According to the plan, he's clearly going to nano Reiner on Doomfist here. However, something drops by at light speed to yoink the nano from Reiner. Slowing it down, we can see that in an unlucky moment, FunnyAstro was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or maybe it was the right time, considering he managed to eliminate Coluge using the nano. In the end, the Gladiators managed to hold and secure the first point of the map. Moving on to the later portion of the match, Gladiators are now pushing the cart onto Route 66 against the Shock. Kevster sneaks around behind the Shock to eliminate Kilo on Ashe, but not before Kilo sends Bob out onto the high ground. If you look closely, Bob managed to hop the gap and secured himself on a not-so-great vantage point. Hoping to do a little Bob repositioning, Coluge begins to slowly push Bob around the corner so he can help contest the point. Suddenly, FunnyAstro comes out of nowhere and boops Bob back onto the upper catwalk, which causes Bob to break line of sight to the point. Bob just can't catch a break.
We're often going to see that some of the more specialist associate players like FunnyAstro will often come out on top. Nothing gained there from the anti-grenade of Shu, but still a oh, that's a big steal. FunnyAstro from the sky.
Yeah, you nanoed Reiner who punched in, but the barrier landed just in time for Violet to keep his team up with the bionic.
Still Bob going to be a huge amount of HP, which can settle itself on the cart, and auto-aim, which is so important when you're against these slippery little targets like a Kevster from the back with a stick. Sick hit to Ashe, and Bob made it over onto high ground.
At least Kilo's replaced by Bob. Hopefully Bob does something. Bob's now on the high ground, dominating, and the Gladiators didn't want to deal with that.
Heading into our next microplay, we end up on Eichenwald with Dallas Fuel defending against the Los Angeles Gladiators. Dallas has already secured 3 points onto this map, so Gladiators are going all in to capture this point, and it's up to the Fuel to throw a wrench into the mix. FunnyAstro goes down to Fielder, who is standing in the backline. Reiner, deciding to pop ult, also decides that Fielder needs to go, since an unchecked Ana in the backline can be a menace. Jumping into the back, Reiner manages to boop Fielder off and Fielder dies. But looking at the kill feed, we see that Fielder somehow managed to get an elimination with his Bionade. Looking at Fielder's POV, as he's getting booped off, he precisely calculates the trajectory of a nade and tosses it at the teammate's critical symbol. Following the nade itself, we can see that his cross-map nade splash damage took out Shu. It was an incredible nade, and we will be watching Fielder with great interest.
Well, they did nano Ons, and he did force Ons and Shu out of the fight for a very long time.
Right over the primal rage, he's able to come back in, and oh my! Turning him into pancakes. He will have to give up his life for that. And the question is it really worth it for the Glads? They only have 2 players here.
And I think he probably can contest this. Sparkle goes over to
Symmetra
here just to get a team.
We join the charge as they set up an offensive against the Dragons on Dorado. As they teleport up onto the roof to contest Fate's Winston, a small boop onto him knocks him off and the charge regain an advantageous position, or so they think. We can see Fleta is crouched, hidden behind a section of the roof, completely hidden behind the charge's sight. Blissfully unaware of their stalker, the charge continues to protect Develop as he takes potshots towards the Dragons, hoping for a pick. Fleta bides his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, inching out and back in as to not blow his stealth. Then, he sees his opportunity after Develop uses his grappling hook to take a grapple shot, and he moves in for the kill. Quickly one-clipping Develop, the game suddenly pauses, and both teams are locked in place. We still don't know the purpose of this pause, but we're sure it was required after the jump scare charge faced from Fleta. Plays like this are hilarious to see, especially since we're given a third-person perspective and can enjoy it from a distance. Keep it up, Fleta.
To one of the opposing roofs to the high ground where the defense would usually sit, but look, it's actually being camped at the moment by both Fleta and Fate. Will this be expected?
Have to see. It's also one of Fleta's first showings on the Tracer, at least just for this season, and Fleta's just creeping. He obviously vented for this spot. Now you just, you wish you had a pulse bomb, because man, their backs are just looking so open. What? Oh, now you finally see Develop in clip range, and then you pause! Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, we vote this guy out. Emergency meeting.
Yeah, that's an emergency meeting kind of pause right there.
Our next play brings us to Eichenwald, where the Dragons are attempting to push the cart that final mile onto the second point, while the Spark tries to defend. We join Fate alone on the payload, trying to squeeze as much mileage in as he can, before bailing into the castle for safety. The entirety of Spark turns around and forgets where the monkey went off to, or perhaps they can't even find him. Seemingly gone, the Spark turn their attention to the choke where Li Gon was pinged. Fate leaps onto Shy and begins being an absolute nuisance. Shy escapes using his coach gun and takes a moment to heal up, then heads back to Fate, who now has Who Are You as backup. Fate jumps in again and pops his Primal Rage, pretty much instantly crushing Irony on Ana. He continues to wreak havoc by leaping towards Bernard, killing Shy on his way over. Fate then boops Bernard off high ground, uses his leap landing to animation cancel his swing, and finishes off Bernard. Bloodthirsty, he locks onto his next target, Alphayi, using his last few moments in his rage to chunk his health down, and Who Are You follows up with the final hit. Just like that, with pure Primal Rage mechanics and understanding of Winston, Fate wipes out 80% of the Spark, and they secure the point.
He put damage into them, and he clicked him in the head to finish it. The card's still getting some good distance, though.
Yeah, welcome back to the Overwatch League, Shy. That's the Shy I remember from last year. I think I remember seeing Shy do quite a few of those last year, so there it is. He's trying to make that Ash pick work for him. We'll do so. 3 frags. I mean, you lose Super Rich, but Shy just says, yeah, no, we'll still win.
Getting jumped on. Some pocket healing will receive it. Fate, though, goes back in for it. Bionade comes down. He's going to be anti when the Primal gets popped. He finds Irony. He finds Shy, and here's the Primal Cleave as well. The Primal Blade from Fate, as he will just scoop up 3 kills, looking for a little bit more. Doesn't quite get the kill credit, but did most of the work. Alphayi is gone. Super Rich will be the last one to fall, as the cart will manage to glide into point B and break open the castle walls.
Heading into the new push map, Colosseo, we join the Houston Outlaws as they attempt to push their robot further than the Defiant managed. Starting the fight, right as the timer kicks into overtime, Piggy goes down and Hisu falls shortly after. Twilight then falls, bringing it to a 4v3 in favor of the Outlaws. Trong manages to finish off Merit before he can claim any more kills, and it's a completely even fight at 3 versus 3. Hotba goes deep and chases Iris down but gets put to sleep before securing the kill. As he wakes up and exits the room, he continues to pressure Iris. But Pelican comes out of nowhere and back-to-back eliminates both Trong and Hotba with a single storm arrow. The robot inches forward slightly before Aldo drops from the high ground to contest, but also immediately gets killed by Pelican. This leaves Hisu on the side of the Defiant alone on point to contest, playing as slippery as possible to stall as much time as he can. Pelican, not having any of it, calmly waits for Hisu to move in a predictable arc and eliminates him. Sitting at a 4K currently, he's hungry for the 5, so he moves his attention onto Twilight, who barely escapes with his life. But Trong made it back and is quickly taken out by Pelican once again. After killing an entire team's worth of enemies, Pelican and the Outlaws finally secure the robot's final position and take the map. While this isn't a micro play in any form, it's still a great play that we felt like we needed to highlight.
These two teams immediate sound barrier use from the Defiant. The margins are too slim to take any risks here, and Piggy has gone down. Merit chases though. He's found Hisu. Make it 2. He's going to eventually fall as Turon pursues him. Still a lead for the Toronto Defiant. Now Iris has to get himself out of this sticky situation, and he has the answer. The sleep dart slows Hotba down. No charge for this Zaya, but still a legitimate threat, forcing away the Outlaws. But Pelican comes out of nowhere. That's 2 with the storm arrows, and they're in there still. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Pelican gets the nano boost and kills everybody.
Immortality field has to be there for Twilight, but it's going to get removed pretty quickly. 0.07 meters. The bunch crunch is happening when the Dragon Strike is there to force the Defiant away. The Outlaws skid millimeters away from victory, and they've done it! What am I watching? The Houston Outlaws! Say what's a town without a sheriff? We're not going anywhere!
And that's all we have for this Overwatch 2 edition of Micro Plays. Which of these plays was your favorite, and were there any we missed? Let us know in the comments below. This video was made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. A huge thank you to everybody on this list, and shout out to Jason, B, Brendan, Kubi, Foxy, Mauve, Pachana, Sierra, Shampoo, Spartacus, and Yoshichi for being platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Steven, Gimbimbi, and Marco for being diamond supporters. Thank you so much everyone, we really appreciate it. If you want to talk to us, check out our Discord. Or if you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Nikita, and thank you for watching.